a sample had the following five-number summary. And that's 15, 20, 30, 36, and 100. Now, first step I want you to do is I want you guys to draw the box plot. So remember that we have to get a little kind of candy bar looking. Okay, this is not gonna work. And then remember that on the very bottom, we put our minimum, which is 15. Max would be 100. Q1 would be 20. Q3 would be 36. And the median is closer to 36. So we're going to put the 30 right here. So again, this is the min. This is the Q1. This is the median. This is the Q3. And then this is the max. Okay. So we did the box plot. Now there's something called the interquartile range. Find the IQR. The IQR is called the interquartile range, and that is right here. Okay, find the IQR. The IQR, ladies and gentlemen, is a very simple formula that is Q3 minus Q1. Okay, simple formula to compute the IQR. Q3 minus Q1. So if I want to find the IQR for this data set, it's just going to be 36 minus 20, which is 16. The IQR is 16. The third question I'm going to ask is, I want you to find the upper fence and lower fence. Or instead of fence, some books use boundaries. So you can even call it upper boundary and lower boundary. Upper fence and lower fence. There is a formula for this. Okay. For the upper fence, I'm going to go ahead and put UF for upper fence. And I'm going to call that Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. This is a formula given in the book. The lower fence also is going to be Q1. Watch, it's different. It's not Q3, it's Q1. And it's going to have a minus instead. Minus 1.5 IQR. Okay. So go ahead and find those. Let's see. For Q3, well, Q3 is 36. Plus 1.5 times the IQR, which is 16. Put that in your calculator, you're going to get 60. For the lower fence, go ahead and plug in Q1. Q1 is 20, subtract 1.5, and then times it by 16. You're going to get -4. So what I just created were fences. So -4 and 60, I'm going to put those on the box plot. Okay, I'm going to create a fence in a sense. 60 is somewhere in between 36 and 100. So I'm going to put a fence, I don't know, let's just say it's right here somewhere. So that's the number 60 right there. That's my fence. And then also, I'm going to put a fence at -4, which is to the left of 15, right? So I'm just going to approximate. I'm just going to say that this fence over here is -4. Right? Now, this is going to help us for number 4. Number 4, I'm going to ask you another question. Number 4, I'm going to ask you any outliers. So outliers is basically any data element elements that do not fall within lower fence and upper fence. Any data element that do not fall within the lower fence and upper fence is called an outlier. So basically anything outside of this, anything outside, like for example, any numbers outside, I'm going to highlight the numbers that are outside. The numbers that are outside are right here. These numbers are outside of the fence, right? Into outside. So those will be your outliers. So in our example, the outliers actually, so if this is 60, it would start with the next unit. 61 to 100 contain outliers. Okay. Let's do one more example. Let's do another example with 5 number summaries, finding upper fences and lower fences. So let's go ahead and do another one. I have the number summary 10, 80, 85, 100, and 2000. I want you to label its box plot. So let's go ahead and do that. You can pause this video if you wish, so you can check your work. So I have 10, 80, 100, and 2000. And then remember, I always save median for last. The median is 85, which is closer to 80. So I'm going to put the bar here this time. 85, right? The second thing I'm going to ask you is to find me the IQR. The interquartile range, again, is Q3 minus Q1. And that's going to be 100 minus 80, which is going to be 20. The third thing I want you to find is the upper fence and the lower fence. The upper fence is going to be Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR, which is going to be 100 plus 1.5 times 20. And that's going to give us 130. The lower fence will be Q1 minus 1.5 times IQR, which is going to be, Q1 is going to be 80 minus 1.5 times the IQR, which is 20. And that's going to give us 50. So go ahead and draw these fences now. Draw the fences. 130 is somewhere right here. Right? This is the number 130. It's to the right of 100. This is a 1, by the way. It looks like a 200 there. So 130 is right there. And 50 is actually between 10 and 80. So it's somewhere right here. Okay? So just call that 50. Okay? So the last question I'm going to ask you is, are there any outliers? Any outliers? Okay, and so the outliers are going to be, I'm going to highlight them. Anything outside the fence, within the fence, this is outside the fence, and this is outside the fence. Anything outside are outliers. So the numbers 10, 2, do not put 50. It's going to be a number less than 50. 10 to 49, and then the number next to 130 is going to be 131. 131 to 2000 contain outliers. Okay, so those are the range of values, and this concludes the examples on interquartile range, upper fences, lower fences, and how we can use that to find outliers.